Hi everyone, let us discuss this first question. A Celsius and Fahrenheit thermometer are dipped in boiling water. Temperature of water is lowered until the Fahrenheit thermometer registers 140. What is the fall in temperature on the Celsius thermometer? So in this question, the initial temperature was 100 degrees Celsius as it is boiling water. Then the temperature decreases and on Fahrenheit it decreases up and the temperature registered is 140. We have to find out by how much degree Celsius temperature drop in the Celsius scale, right? I hope you understand the problem. So the basic formula which we know is that C upon 100 is equals to F minus 32 divided by 180. So from this we get the value of C. C is equals to F is 140 minus 32 divided by 180, and this 100 from here it goes and it will be into 100. So this if we calculate, okay, you can calculate, it is 140 minus 32 divided by 180. I am calculating with calculator into 100. Okay, so the answer I got is 60, right? The value of C is 60, means when the temperature is 140 Fahrenheit, in Celsius it is 60 degrees Celsius. So how much decrease? So here our answer will be from 100, now the temperature is 60 degrees Celsius. So the decrease is 40 degrees Celsius. So we have to find degrees. So this 40 degrees Celsius is correct answer. Now second question is a constant volume air thermometer work on. So volume is constant. So we know this is Gay-Lussac's law. At a constant volume, your pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So this is Gay-Lussac's law. Third question is a graph is plotted. I have plotted this graph. A graph is plotted taking temperature in Fahrenheit along y-axis. So here my temperature is in Fahrenheit and the corresponding temperature in Celsius along x-axis. So along this x-axis we are plotting it in degrees Celsius. So we know that when degrees Celsius we have 0 degrees Celsius, that time we have 32 Fahrenheit, right? Fine. So therefore this will cut this y-axis. Now we have to find this graph whether it is a circle. So definitely not. Actually this is a linear relation. A graph is plotted. So before we plot this graph, actually we have to see the relation. So C upon 100 is equals to F minus 32 upon 180. If we simplify, we get something C is equals to 5 upon 9 F minus 32. Now this is something like Y is equals to mx plus C, where the value of m is 5 upon 9 and the value of C is, as we are plotting Fahrenheit along y-axis, so we have to represent Fahrenheit in terms of x. So here actual relation we will get when we represent Fahrenheit in terms of degrees Celsius. So to represent Fahrenheit in degrees Celsius, what you can do, this relation you interchange. You can say that F minus 32 is equals to 9 upon 5 times C. So therefore your F will become 9 upon 5 times C plus 32. So this will give you a straight line relation. So here the correct answer is, it is a straight line having positive intercept on y-axis. Okay, some of the problems I have already worked out, so that here we can save the time. Okay, a railway line are laid with a gap to allow for expansion. Okay, we know that when we heat something, it expands. So in railway line also there is a small gap between two rails, so that in summer season when there is high temperature, okay, the rail will cover that gap but it will not bend. Okay, so the gap between the steel rail is the gap between the steel rail 66 meter long is 3.63 centimeter at 10 degrees Celsius. So initial temperature was given 10, that time we have maintained a gap of 3.63. At what temperature will the rail just touches? So we have to check when increase in length will be this 3.63 centimeter, that is 0.0363 meter. Okay, initial temperature was 10, let the final temperature be T, and coefficient of thermal expansion is given, so we know the formula. Okay, we have mentioned initial length, increase in length, initial temperature, and value of alpha. We have to find the final temperature T2. Here we have the relation delta L upon L is equals to alpha T2 minus T1. We need to find this T2. So T2 minus T1, we rearrange this delta L upon L divided by alpha. So after simplification, you solve, you will get this T2 minus T1 50. Already T1 we know it is 10 degrees Celsius given. So T2 you get 60 degrees Celsius. Okay, so T2 is 60 degrees Celsius. This is the correct answer, right? Okay. Now your fifth problem here. The density of solid decreases. The density of solid decreases by 0.5% when it is heated from 0 degree to 100 degrees Celsius. What is the coefficient of linear expansion of the solid? So in this problem, there is a decrease in density by 0.5%. Means if we consider initial density as 100, then change in density, that is delta rho, if I say, it is 0.5 when rho is initial density, or rho naught I will say, it is 100. Okay, this is given. Change in temperature delta T, it is given 100. Okay, 100 degrees Celsius. Now what they want what is the value of alpha. Alpha is a question mark. We have a relation in case of density also. We have a relation that change in density, that is delta rho upon original density, is equals to gamma times delta T. Okay, now this gamma can be replaced with 3 alpha. So we can say that 3 alpha times delta T. This is delta rho upon rho. Okay, so therefore this relation will give us the value of this formula will actually give you the approximate value. So when we solve, we get the value of alpha as delta rho, that is 0.5 divided by initial density 100 we are considering, there is a change of 0.5 into delta T is 100 and into 3. So when you solve this, you will get approximately the value as 16.75 into 10 power minus 6 per degree Celsius. Okay, this is the required answer, right? Okay, let us move to next problem. Now here this sixth question, the volume of block of metal is 30 degrees Celsius, changed by 0.12% when its temperature is increased to 70. What is the coefficient of linear expansion? Again the same kind of question. The volume of block of metal at 30. So you have initial temperature, you can say T1 is 30 degrees Celsius. Final temperature T2 is 70 degrees Celsius. So delta T we have 40 degrees Celsius. And what is given? The volume of the block of metal changed by 0.12. So delta V is 0.12%. Okay, so what we can say that this 0.12 divided by 100 is equals to what we have to find, what is the coefficient of linear expansion. So again it is 3 alpha into change in temperature delta T. So delta T, that is 40. So therefore alpha is equals to, we will say therefore alpha is equals to 0.12 divided by 100 into 3 into change in temperature is 40. So this value when we calculate, it is 0.12 divided by, we have 100 into 3 into 40. So this gives something 0. It is 0.0 0.00001. So that is 1 into 10 power minus 5, better. So we will say that it is 1 into 10 power minus 5, okay. 1 into 10 power minus 5 per degree Celsius is the answer. Now here, 7th question, the density of substance at 0 degree Celsius is 10 gram per centimeter cube, and at 100 degrees Celsius its density is 9.7 gram per centimeter cube. What is the coefficient of linear expansion? Okay, again, what is the relation? Or I think I have written the relation here. 0.3, there is a decrease of 0.3, 0.3 divided by, and the density of substance at 0 degree Celsius is 10 gram per centimeter cube, and at 100 degree Celsius it is 9.7. So there is a decrease of 0.3. So 0.3 upon the original was 10. Okay, here it should be 10. So it is equals to gamma into, there is a change in temperature of 100. So therefore the value of gamma is equals to 0.3 divided by 1000. Okay, so this is the value of gamma. So therefore alpha means, here we can say that this is 3 into 10 power minus 4. So therefore alpha is equals to, we have to divide it by 3, alpha is equals to gamma upon 3. So therefore it will become 1 into 10 power minus 4 per degree Celsius. So this first option is the correct one, right? Okay, the 8th question. Now 8th question is, two rod, one of aluminium and the other of steel, having initial length L1 and L2, are connected together to form a single rod of length L1 plus L2. The coefficient of linear expansion of aluminium and steel are alpha A and alpha S respectively if the length of each rod increased by the same amount when their temperature are raised by T degrees Celsius. Then the ratio of this initial length L1 upon L1 plus L2. So what is given? It is given that length of each rod increased by the same amount. Length of each rod increased by the same amount means delta L for both of them is same. Okay, so delta L of aluminum is same as delta L of your steel, aluminum and steel, right? So delta L upon L1 or LA, we can say that L1 is given length. So this is delta LA upon L1 is L1 alpha AT. Okay, so we can do two things. One is that we can find the value of L1, or we will find the value of this delta LA and then we will compare. So delta LA and delta LS, we got the relation. So L1 is equals to L2. Okay, I think a little lengthy procedure I have done. Let us solve ourselves. So in this problem, what we are saying that delta L for aluminum. Okay, so delta L1 is equals to delta L2. L1, L2 are what? Length. L1 is length of aluminum and L2 is the length of steel. Okay, we have to find L1 upon L1 plus L2. So delta L1 is equals to delta L2 is given. Now we have this delta L1 is equals to L1 into 1 plus, now L1 is 2 rod, 1 aluminum and other steel. So this is aluminum. So 1 plus alpha A into T. It is raised by T degrees Celsius. Temperature is increased by T degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is the value of delta L1. Delta L1 is equals to L1 into 1 plus alpha T. So from here we can get the value of L1. L1 is equals to delta L upon, here it is 1 plus alpha A into T. This is the value of L1, and the value of L2, it will be equal to, now the length for both of them is same, so let us take this as delta L. Okay, so here it is delta L upon 1 plus alpha of steel into T. Okay, now we have L1 upon L1 plus L2. So L1 upon L1 plus L2, this will give me delta L upon 1 plus alpha A into T this is the value of L1 divide by, so we will write like this, divide by L1 plus L2. So we add these two values, so it is delta L upon 1 plus alpha A into T plus delta L upon 1 plus alpha S into T. Now we can cancel. If we see the options are like this, but here we are using wrong formula, right? L1 is, delta L1 is what? It is something I missed. Let us remove all these things, and this delta L1 is equals to, here we should write L1 into alpha AT. So therefore the value of L1 will become delta L upon alpha A into T. This is the value of L1. Okay, delta L is the same. So when we say that, similarly here we say that L2 is equals to what? Delta L upon alpha S into T. So therefore L1 upon L1 plus L2. So L1 we take delta L upon alpha A into T divide by this symbol, divide by delta L upon here alpha A into T plus alpha S into T. Okay, so this is equals to this delta L upon alpha A into T multiplied by, here it will become alpha A into T. We can take this T common, alpha A plus alpha S whole into T divided by, here it is delta L. Now this delta L cancel, this T cancel. So final answer, again we have done some mistake. I think what we are doing, delta L change in length upon L1 is alpha into T. So L1 is equals to delta L upon alpha into T. So the formula is correct, but it is not matching, na? L1 upon L1 plus L2. When we take the reciprocal, okay, got it. The value of L1 plus L2 we are writing wrong. Yes, the value of L1 plus L2, what we should write? Here it is divided by L1 plus L2. So value of L1 is delta L upon alpha A into T plus delta L upon alpha S into T, right? This should be written. Now we can take this delta L common. So delta L we can cancel, and here we have 1 upon alpha A into T divide by, now here we cross multiply, so this will become alpha S into T plus this will become alpha A into T, and whole divided by, this will become alpha A into T into alpha S into T. Okay, so this is equals to, now this alpha A into T from here and from here we cancel, and then this 1 divided by this, it will become alpha S into T divided by, here we take T common, so it is alpha S plus alpha A into T. This T and T will cancel, and final answer is alpha S upon alpha S plus alpha A. So this is the value of L1 upon L1 plus L2. Okay. Okay. So the volume of ninth problem, the volume of metal sphere increased by 0.15%. 0.15% means it is delta V upon V. We can say that it is 0.15 divided by 100. When the temperature is increased by 25 and delta T is given 25 degree. What is the coefficient of linear expansion? So our relation delta V upon V is equals to 3 alpha into delta T. In place of gamma I have written 3 alpha because finally we have to find the value of alpha. So value of alpha is delta V upon V is 0.15 divided by 100. Then here we have 3 and then delta T. Delta T is 25. So this is equals to, now 3 5s are 15. So 0.05. So you can say this as this is equals to, you multiply by 100 numerator and denominator, so your numerator will be 5, denominator will be 25, and here it will become 10 power, as I have multiplied by 100, so it will become 10 power minus 4. Now again 5 1s are 5, 5 5s are 25, and 1 upon 5 is 0.2, so 0.2 into 10 power minus 4, it is equals to 2 into 10 power minus 5. So the value is 2 into 10 power minus 5 per degree Celsius. So this is the value of alpha per degree Celsius. So this D option is the correct option, right? Ninth question. 10th problem, a blacksmith fixes iron ring on the rim of a wooden wheel of bullock cart. The diameter of the rim and the iron ring are 5.243 and 5.231 meter respectively at 27. To what temperature should the ring be heated so that it fits the rim of the wheel? तो यहाँ पर what is given to you कि you have one rim and iron ring. Now on rim you are going to put this iron ring. The size of rim is 5.243 and the size of ring is 5.231. So what you want, you heat this ring so that it will expand and its diameter will become 5.243. Okay, so 5.243. So here your change in length will be 5.243 minus 5.231, and your original length, it is 5.231, right? So the formula, we will apply the formula. Let us put the value. Initial temperature was given 27. This final temperature we have to calculate. So here I already solved this calculation and we get value of T as 218 degrees Celsius. So again it is purely a formula based question. Okay, so in 10th question what is given, that there is a ring and on that ring we have to there is a rim and on that rim we have to put an iron ring. So obviously first we have to heat that iron ring so that its diameter will increase and then we will put it. So actually there is increase in circumference, but increase in circumference is proportional to increase in diameter. So therefore we can take the relation of diameter also. In place of circumference we can take the relation of diameter. Here 11th question, the coefficient of real expansion of mercury is, I think it is linear expansion, is 0.18 into 10 power minus 3 per degree Celsius. The density of mercury at 0 degree Celsius is 0.0 degree and is 13.6, at 0 degree is 13.6 gram per cc. What is the density at 200? Okay, so the coefficient of real, this is coefficient of linear expansion. It is not volume expansion, linear expansion maybe. Okay, so that means alpha is given. Alpha is given 0.18 into 10 power minus 3. Now we know the relation that delta rho upon rho is equals to 3 times alpha into delta T. Okay, so the density of mercury is 0 degree. At 0 degrees the initial density we know, and what is the density at 200, that we have to find out. So this delta rho will become rho, which is 13.6 into 3 into 0.18 into 10 power minus 3 into change in temperature. So it is 200, right? 200 minus 0, 200. So this is change in density, 13.6 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 0.18 into 200 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, so all these calculations will give us answer as delta rho as 1.4688, 1.4688. So your final density rho final, we can say rho final is your rho initial minus change in density delta rho. So 13.6 minus 1.4688. So 13.6 minus 1.4688. It will give me 12.1312. 12.1312. Now let us see. The coefficient of linear expansion of mercury is this. The density of mercury at 0 is this. So there is a decrease in density, 13.6, from 13.6 it will decrease. Okay, somewhere we have done mistake. Delta rho is 13.6 into 3 into alpha is 0.18 into 10 power minus 3 into 200. There is a rise in temperature of 200. Acha, the problem is of unit. No, density is given in gram per centimeter cube. Okay, density is given in gram per centimeter cube. Okay, if we convert this in kilogram per meter cube, so there is only a change of unit. Okay, fine, let us put the density in SI form. Here rho is given, rho is 13.6 gram per cc. Okay, so it will be 13.6 into 10 power minus 3 upon this is 10 power minus 6. So ultimately this will be 13.6 into 10 power 3. Okay, so when we apply this, actually it will not make much difference. Delta rho is equals to 3 into alpha, value of alpha. So it is the coefficient of real expansion, or it is a volume expansion. I think this is volume expansion. This is not alpha. This is directly the value of gamma given. So it is gamma. If you take this as gamma, okay, let us take this as gamma. So we will not multiply by 3. We will simply say it is 13.6 into 10 power 3 multiplied by delta t is 200 multiplied by we have taken initial density, gamma is 0.18. Okay, gamma is 0.18 into 10 power minus 3. Okay, so let us see this value. Actually this 10 power minus 3 and 10 power plus 3 will cancel. This is 13.6 into 200 into 0.18. So change in density delta rho will become 489.6. So your final density delta final is equals to, it is 13.6 into 10 raised to 3 minus 489.6 is equals to 13.6 into 10 raised to 3 minus we have 489.6. So this gives us answer as 1310.6 0.4. It will be 0.4, this much kg per meter cube. Okay, so in terms of power of 10, if we write, it is 13.1104 into 10 power 3 kilogram per meter cube. This is final density 13.1104. So 13.11, this first option is right. Okay, so I thought as in all the problem it is given linear expansion, but this is real expansion. So here it is volume expansion is given. Mercury is going to expand in terms of volume, right? Okay, a liquid having coefficient of cubical expansion is gamma is kept in a copper vessel having the coefficient of linear expansion gamma by 3. If the heat is supplied to the vessel, the original level of the liquid in the vessel will, okay, actually the coefficient of linear expansion is gamma by 3. That means here the coefficient of volume expansion is gamma. So liquid is also expanding at the same pace as the container. So there is no change in the volume. So volume reduces when. Have you understood that suppose there is a glass and in that glass there is some water. When you heat up, what will happen? The glass volume will also increase and that liquid volume will also increase. So if their coefficient of volume expansions are same, then in that case both will increase by the same amount. So you will not find any difference in the level. So it will remain almost the same. The volume of gas at 20 degrees Celsius is 100 at normal pressure. If it is heated to 100 degrees Celsius, its volume become 125 at the same pressure. What is the volume coefficient of expansion of the gas at normal pressure? Okay, so again use the same formula. Okay, now I think you can do this problem by yourself. Okay, fine, we have done here. So alpha v we got 0.0031. This is coefficient of volume expansion. Alpha v, when I say alpha v means it is for volume. You can take this as gamma or you can take alpha v. If we say alpha v, that means it is volume expansion. If I say alpha a, this is areal expansion, like that. Okay, two beaker A and B are filled to the brim. Okay, to the brim means to the same level with water at 4 degree. If A is heated and B is cooled, then the water, okay, so two beaker A and B are filled. So suppose I have one beaker here and other beaker here. Okay, they are filled to the top. Okay, they are filled to the top. Okay, now the water is at 4 degrees Celsius. This is at 4 degrees Celsius. If A is heated, now I am supplying heat to this. When I am heating it, so what happens because of heat, now at 4 degrees Celsius its density is maximum. Okay, so when we heat up, what happens? Its volume change, its volume rise. Okay, so its volume rise, as its volume rises, the water will start flowing. Is it right? Okay, it is overflowing. Now B is cooled. So when we cool it, again as I cool it, its density will decrease because density is maximum at 4. This is anomalous behavior of water. So when we start heating, okay, so initially up to 4 degrees Celsius, or understand it that water when we decrease its temperature, its density is keep on increasing. At 4 degrees Celsius its density is maximum. Then when we decrease the temperature, then it starts expanding. So below 4 degrees Celsius, now its volume increases. Okay, above 4 degrees Celsius also its volume is more. So at 4 degrees Celsius its volume is minimum. So volume is minimum. So if I decrease the energy, then also it will expand. If I increase the energy, then also it will expand. This is the anomalous behavior, right? So here A is heated and B is cooled, then what will be the water happen? Level of water is decrease in A. This is wrong. Volume of level in B decreases. Again this is wrong. In both it is increasing. Will overflow in A only, will overflow in A and B. So this D option is correct option, right? Okay, now this 15th problem. The value of coefficient of volume expansion of glycerin is 5 into 10 power minus 4 per Kelvin. Okay, we can write in per degree Celsius or per Kelvin. The fractional change in density of glycerin, the fractional change in density of glycerin for a rise of 40 degrees Celsius in it. Okay, so let us we will not use this concept. So here for glycerin, gamma is given. Gamma is 5 into 10 power minus 4. Okay, we know the formula that change in density delta rho upon original density is equals to gamma into delta T. So this is equals to 5 into 10 power minus 4 into change in temperature is 40. So 5 for the 200 into 10 power minus 4. So this is 0.02. So 0.020 we can say. Now this change in something upon original is called fractional change. So this is change in fractional density. Okay. So this is 15th question. Now here the 16th question is the coefficient of cubical expansion of mercury. Coefficient of cubical expansion, that is the value of gamma is given 18 into 10 power minus 5 per degree Celsius. A thermometer bulb has volume 10 power minus 6. So we can say that it is initial volume. It is 10 power minus 6. It is given in meter cube. And the cross section of the steam. I think this is we are talking about a thermometer pipe. Okay. So cross section area we will take A is equals to 0.002. The bulb is filled with mercury at 0 degrees Celsius. What is the increase in length of the mercury column at 100 degrees Celsius? So change in temperature we can say that it is 100 degrees Celsius, right? Okay. Now we know that your delta V, change in volume, okay, can be written as V0 into gamma into delta T. So all the values on right hand side is given. So delta V we will find out it is 10 power minus 6 into 18 into 10 power minus 5 into 100. So this 10 power minus 6, 10 power minus 5 and this 10 will cancel. So it is 18 into 10. So therefore delta V we can say that it is something I missed. It is minus 6 and this is minus 5. So they will add up. Okay. So it is 1800 into 10 power minus 11. Okay. This is change in volume. This is change in volume. Okay. Now because of this change in volume, what will happen? The level of mercury will rise. Okay. So how much it will rise? So this volume is in meter cube. Yes, it is in meter cube. So better as area is in centimeter. As area is in centimeter, let us convert it in centimeter. So centimeter cube, it will become from meter to centimeter. It will become 1800 into 10 power minus 5. Now minus 5 centimeter cube we can say, and therefore delta V is equals to, now this is 1800. So we can say it as 1.8 into 10 power minus 2 10 power minus 2, right? Okay, this 20 and this 3. Okay, 3 I will subtract, it will be 1.8 into 10 power minus 2 centimeter cube. This is increase in volume. Now what is area? 0.002. So we can say that increase in length, that is delta L. Delta L is delta V, change in volume divided by area. So it is 1.8 into 10 power minus 2 divided by area is 0.002. So this can be written as 2 into 10 power minus 3. So it is 18 upon 2, that is 9. So this is 9 what? 9 centimeter, or again I am doing something wrong. 18. Okay, this is 9 centimeter. It should be 9 centimeter. So 9 centimeter. This B option is correct option. Okay, done. Fine. Okay. Now let us see one more question, question number 17. So this is last question for today. Rest of the question we will see tomorrow. 17th question. A 1 liter flask contain some mercury. So initial volume we understand that, suppose this is glass, okay, this is 1 liter container, okay, this will be packed from the top, and in this there is some mercury level. Suppose this is a mercury and there is some air. So 1 liter flask contain 1 liter means its volume, initial volume V0 of a container is V0 of container, VC we will say, VC it is 1 liter means 1000 centimeter cube. Okay, so 1000 centimeter cube is volume of container, and for mercury let us say this is Vm. Okay, it is found that at different temperature the volume of air inside the flask remains same. So when at different temperature the volume of air remains same, that means the increase in mercury or the volume change of mercury will be same as volume change of the container. Simple. If air remains same, that means how much volume of container will increase, by the same amount the volume of mercury will also increase. So that means here we can say that we have given that delta of volume of mercury is same as delta of volume of container. Okay, so delta of volume of mercury can be written as initial volume of mercury. So Vm, we can say that Vm into gamma m into change in temperature. So it is changed by T. This will be same as here it is Vc, volume of container, into gamma of container into T. So this T and T I can cancel. So let us say that, okay, this T will cancel, and Vm, therefore Vm, what we get, Vm is equals to Vc, the value of Vc is 1000, and gamma C, the value of gamma C is given alpha gamma. Okay, here alpha G is given, alpha of glass is given, container is given, that is 9. So if I talk about gamma, okay, gamma will be 3 times of alpha. So 9 3 is 27. We can say that this is 27 into 10 power minus 6 Vc into gamma C divided by gamma m. So for mercury it is 1.8 into 10 power minus 4. So this calculation will give me a result of say this 10 power minus 4, and this will cancel with this 20. So it is 270, 27, 10 I will increase, and here it will be 18. So 9 3 is 27 divided by 2. So it is 150 centimeter cube. So volume of mercury is 150 centimeter cube, right? Okay. So thank you for being with me. In the next class we will see the remaining problems.